everybody, it's me, Jill, and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of Vanderpump Rules, Season 7, Episode 6, Love Thy Mother. Oh boy, this was quite the episode. I have 10 pages of notes. All right, let's just get started. This episode opens the morning after the Ice Queen party, and everyone looks rough. Katie's still rocking the warrior princess top knot. Schwartz is on the floor, crawling under a table, looking for a contact lens he lost. It's a lot. So Kristen, Katie, and Brittany are discussing Stassi and how she almost made it through a birthday without losing it. Kristen and Katie are retelling it for Brittany, who didn't know what was going on. And Katie said that Stassi was ordering Beau to get in the room now. And just like screaming at him. Kristen said that Beau started crying and saying, "I'm not your punching bag." Side note, according to the t-shirts this morning, Kristen would like you to wake her when winter's over. And Brittany warns, no coffee, no worky. So it definitely seems like Stassi's girlfriends are siding with Beau on this one. Not that they shouldn't, but they definitely are not ride or die with Stassi, that's for sure. Because Katie said, Beau just wanted to kick it with us. And Stassi wouldn't allow that. And then Kristen is so nasty to Stassi in her confessionals that after the fact, like after Stassi has seen the show and she's able to see these confessionals, I don't know how they're still friends, but they are. So like I said, I'm not saying they shouldn't side with Beau or that Stassi wasn't wrong for screaming at him, but, maybe you don't have to kick it with the others on your girlfriend's birthday. Maybe just that one night you could turn in early with her. Just saying. You got plenty of nights to kick it with your friends, right? Next, we see Beau and Stassi, and Stassi looks a hot mess. She's crying, her eyes are red, her face is puffy. It's not good. And Beau, well, you know what? Honestly, Beau may be the only one who looks better this morning than he did the night before. I mean, I was not digging that costume. Anyway, so right away, Stassi is apologizing to him. She's so sorry, and he very gently says, the way you treated me last night was like a dick punch to the heart. So the bottom line here is that Stassi has a hard time with abandonment for whatever reason, and she needs to learn how to keep that in check in the future. Beau, as it turns out, is a pretty understanding guy. He said, "I walked away and you freaked out. I was only walking away because the argument was going nowhere and it was no longer productive, and just for my own sake, I needed to step away," which is pretty healthy. And it triggered her abandonment things. And so she lost it. And then I don't know what they did from there, but he ends up giving her a big hug and melting the hearts of girls across the world as he says to her, "We'll figure out together why you get so reactive." And then to the confession cam, he goes on to say, "I'm not walking away. We'll figure this out. I'm in love with her." Aww. In all seriousness, this relationship could work out for Stassi because if she works on what her issues are, coupled with the fact that she's getting older, I think he came into her life at the right time. If she had met him 10 years ago, I think it just wouldn't have worked for either of them. But, he's at a place in his life where he finds her worth fighting for, and she's at a place in her life where she at least recognizes where the issues are and can start working on it. So I'm hopeful for these two crazy kids. What do you guys think? Next, we are following James to the ice cream shop. If you guys remember last season, Arthur, who used to work at SUR and is now a life coach who owns an ice cream shop, was trying to help James back last season. Obviously, it didn't work. I love how when James is off the alcohol, he turns to ice cream. I mean, thank God he's super skinny. Otherwise, that could be very problematic. Anyway, they sit down to talk, and Arthur tells him that he's a big fan of mantras, and he asks James to think of 3 words that James loves about himself when he's sober. James said honest, caring, and driven. So Arthur wants him to think of those 3 things when he's about to make a bad decision. We'll see. Although, again, you guys, in the confessionals, there is a drink on the table next to James. I can't imagine it's going to go well. Next, we are at SUR, and Lisa is calling for a brief staff meeting before the next shift starts. And Lisa says, "It's important to me that they know I'm listening and that James's behavior is unacceptable." So Lisa kind of opens the floor to the staff. Nobody wants to be the first one to say anything. So Peter starts by telling everyone they're doing a great job and that Jax has really been doing great. Bravo shows us the shot of their faces, and nobody seems convinced of that. So then Lisa says, "Okay, unfortunately, as you know, James has been let go. Is there anything that anyone would like to add to that?" So Peter says, "As far as James, I know that he acted out at Pride." Acted out. "But Tuesday is one of our best nights because he's behind the DJ booth." Jack says, "Oh, come on. I'm sure we could find another guy with an English accent and an iPod that could do the job without insulting my fiance or calling Katie fat." Diana now pipes up, "James was great for Tuesdays. I get where you're all coming from, but from a business standpoint, First of all, Katie looks sick to her stomach. But secondly, what's happening? He's already been fired, right? So after Diana says that, Brittany pipes up and said, "It's just upsetting that you're looking at it as a business point of view. What James said was really hurtful." So Sheena says to Brittany, "He's only here Tuesdays and Thursdays, so why don't you just not work those days?" In the confession cam, Sheena says, "Everyone wants to work Tuesday because it's the busiest night, and tips are triple what you would get any other night, and it's because of James." "You mean your casual friend James?" Sheena wants to snag all the Tuesdays for herself if that's the case. So I guess they really do work there then, huh? Again, isn't the point moot? James doesn't work there anymore. They're all acting like he still works there. I guess they're all just preparing for the time that Lisa takes him back. That must be it. So now Jax gets a little too cocky, and Lisa puts him in his place and tells him, "You're lucky to even be here, Jax Taylor." And Jax is like, "That's fine. So you can let me go. That's fine." Okay. Now Billie Lee has something to say. She says, "One last thing about Kristen." One last thing about Kristen? Nobody mentioned Kristen at all. And even Lisa goes, "Kristen?" And Billie Lee said, "Yeah, when James is working, she's a trigger. She comes in and attacks James." People, James doesn't work there anymore. As far as I'm concerned, there was nothing for anybody to say. James was a problem, Lisa fired him, and they keep bringing up reasons why James should be fired. Done and done. Am I missing something? They were all acting like Lisa was still making up her mind what to do. Anyway, the Billie Lee comment got Lala and Katie all fired up. And Katie said, "I love how Kristen is the villain here." To be fair, Kristen usually is the villain, but I get what she means. Side note, as a viewer, good for Billie Lee for speaking out and saying something polarizing. She is going to be obnoxious, and I love it. Because last season, she was nothing more than her transition, and it is time to move past it. So now Billie Lee and Lala go at each other back and forth a little bit, and Lisa's trying to settle them down. "I don't support you going after each other." Then we get a shot of 4 people I have never seen before. Maybe they're just real employees who were attractive enough to make it on camera. Next, we are at Stassi's apartment, and she is Skyping with her editor. Stassi got a book deal for her new book, Next Level Basic, and I'm pretty sure it's out now. So when you're done watching this recap, you can all run out to your nearest Barnes & Noble. Anyway, they tell her that she has to have it done by September 1st, and that's, I guess, less than 3 months away, and she ends up saying, "Okay, I'll make it happen," and then she hangs up and she's all stressed out about it. I feel like Carol Radziwill would have laughed at the editors and said, yeah, that's not going to happen. And Erica Jane, she also would have said, no, I can't do it in 3 months. And then Stassi sets the scene by telling Beau that they are having a mother-daughter dinner with she and her mom, Katie and her mom, and Kristen and her mom. Also that I guess Stassi's mom and Katie's mom are best friends. The next scene is a little bit of a throwaway. It's Lisa and Ken, and the Toms are auditioning drinks for Lisa. They made a deal with the Daily Mail to have a private party for them at Tom Tom. And everything's running behind it Tom Tom, so it's not ready yet, but they're rushing because they had already made a commitment to Daily Mail and their invitations had gone out and all that stuff. So anyway, one of the things is that I guess Lisa had told the Toms that they should come up with some drinks, and if they were good enough, she would serve them at this party, and maybe, just maybe, they would make it onto the menu at Tom Tom. I think the whole thing is stupid because, first of all, unless they taste really bad, and it doesn't seem like they do, I think Sandoval comes up with some very interesting cocktails, and I think they would sell better if you knew that it was one that Sandoval created than something that Pandora and her team approved of. You know what I mean? I would think those would be the best sellers, so the whole thing seems weird to me. Also, we find out that Nick Elaine is coming across country in a 55-foot truck to deliver all the furniture for Tom Tom so that they can have this party in time for the party. Next scene is Stassi, Katie, and Brittany, and they are going to a place called Rage Ground, and it's one of those places where you can smash things. Now, I have always thought that this was a brilliant business idea. All you need is a safe, room, enough safety equipment on the person, plus, they probably have to sign a release if they get hurt. And it's all stuff people are throwing away, like old printers and computers, and it's all kinds of stuff that's either cheap or people are throwing away anyway. So I would think your overhead is pretty darn cheap, but I came up with what I think is an even better idea. You know how on these home improvement shows, everybody it was gaga on demolition day. It's so fun. They're always taking a sledgehammer to a wall or to kitchen cabinets or something, right? They're breaking up tiles. Everybody loves it. If you combine people loving to smash things with demolition day on home improvement projects, you are getting people to pay you to do your demolition. So not only are they getting their aggressions out and they're paying for it, but they're providing a service. So it's even better than just smashing things in a room for no reason. You are smashing things to be helpful. I think it's a win-win, and you heard it here first. So after they do all that smashing, they go and sit down and talk, and it turns into another, Brittany, are you sure you want to marry Jack's conversation? This time it's led by Katie. Brittany's trying not to get pissed off, but I know she's tired of these conversations. Not that they're wrong. I mean, these women know Jax better than Brittany does. At least they've known him longer than Brittany. So she can't really blame them. Then they start talking about how Sheena is live tweeting a date that she's on with this guy, Robbie, who's from The Bachelorette. He was the second runner-up in JoJo's season. Well, he's on a date with Sheena, and so we are going back and forth between the three girls talking and Sheena and Robbie on their date. And Sheena, I love her. She's so thirsty. So apparently Robbie is good friends and past roommates, or maybe they're still roommates, with Adam. The boy who makes her vagina dance. I don't know if Robbie makes her vagina dance, but her vagina is dancing. Let's just put it that way. And this is just my personal opinion. I feel like maybe anybody could be a dance partner. Maybe. Because I think Robbie will do just fine. According to Stassi, though, he is a cheesy douche, and that all of the Bachelorette guys are very cheesy, which I don't doubt for one single second. Then Katie makes the comment that she's dating two guys and neither of them will sleep with her. What? I will say this. The picture of Robbie and Adam in their suits looks like it could be their wedding photo. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, back to Sheena and Robbie. She tells him that he's not her normal type because he's too perfect looking. Okay, that makes me go, ugh. But that makes Robbie want to kiss her. So, good on you, Sheena. That worked. Either that or Robbie's just trying to get a rose and he doesn't realize he's on Vanderpump Rules. Because I think either could be true. Next, Nicolene has arrived with the furnishings for Tom Tom. And Lisa suggests that maybe you need more muscle to help unload the truck and that she could call the Toms. And Nicolene was very adamant about, yeah, I've got my crew here, got 8 people, that's good. I need this to run smoothly without any distractions. And Lisa understood. That definitely means no Tom Tom. Guess who shows up walking down the sidewalk? Sandoval and Schwartz. They just want to be a part of it. This whole thing kind of bothers me. The storyline is silly to me. Lisa and her husband, they are in the restaurant bar business. They know how to do it. They've done it before. They're opening another one. She's successful at it, apparently. So her idea to have Schwartz and Sandoval be the face of this new bar and restaurant, I guess. I think they serve food there. And call it Tom Tom? Well, it was genius because people will go because of them. And she's utilizing the fame from Vanderpump Rules, and that makes smart business sense. And also, I think she took a token amount of money from them so that they could be investors. It's name only, and I think we all sort of know that, even the Toms. So because of it, the storyline irritates me somewhat. Somebody who is a 10% investment or less, you know that they don't have any decision-making rights. So it's all a little silly, but suspension of disbelief. I'm going along with it. So they show up because they want to be involved, and Lisa's like, nope, he doesn't want it. And so they go next door and have a cup of tea. Side note, I love Lisa's glasses. I'm a glasses girl. I love glasses, and those are super cool. Next is the James May Company Relaunch Party. That is Kristen's t-shirt company. And everybody shows up to support her. All the rest of the cast, they're all wearing James May t-shirts. Lala and Ariana are sitting together talking, and Lala tells her that she thinks that she owes James a conversation, like a sit down in honor of how long they've been friends. So Ariana agrees that she should call him, so she's got to unblock him, and she calls, and he's super skeptical, as he should be, but he agrees to meet with her the next day. And Lala is taking it seriously because she told Ariana, I'm not even going to be wearing my lashes tomorrow. And Ariana agreed, yeah, because things are going to go down tomorrow. Okay, so now the t-shirts from that first scene that I talked about that Kristen and Brittany were wearing is starting to make a lot more sense to me. Because this James May line, it's all kind of like, it looks to me like it's kind of 70s inspired, just with the graphics and the fonts. And it's a lot of slogans, that kind of thing. I don't hate them. Some of them I actually like a lot. Although, what the hell is a vagina mafia? Sandoval and Katie are wearing t-shirts that say Vagina Mafia. Is it just like a gang of girls? Is that kind of the deal? I don't know. I'm old. I don't know stuff. If you guys know what a Vagina Mafia is, like if it's a thing, leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, I'm going to assume it's just kind of like female empowerment. Okay, now the Toms are talking to Katie and Ariana about the Daily Mail party at Tom Tom. And oh my God, Schwartz tells Katie that the Daily Mail has requested James DJ the party. And this is how Katie takes the news. Believe it or not, she ends up saying, just basically keep James away from me. Okay, now over in the corner, Stassi's mom Dana and Beau are having a conversation. Okay, side note, is Beau wearing Stassi's sweater from the beginning of this episode? Or was Stassi wearing his sweater? I'm not sure. But anyway, Beau's wearing something very similar, if not the exact same thing. And Stassi's mom tells Beau that she really loved his costume from the party. Really? That mishmash of Christmas? Anyway, he thanks her, and she said, yeah, I grabbed your ass, didn't I? And he's like, yeah, you did. And then we see a flashback to the party when she reaches over and grabs his ass and makes a honking sound. Yeah. Isn't that every girl's dream, to have her mom behave that way with her boyfriend? And now I'm about to tell you that was nothing compared to what she's about to say. Those of you who watch Real Housewives of New York, Tinsley's mother, Dale, has nothing on this woman. She is the worst. Now Stassi comes up to them and she's telling Stassi, you better get your act together. I'm worried you're going to screw things up with him. She tells Beau that Stassi has issues that go beyond bad boyfriends, that she's always been like that. And Beau's like, that's not good. She said, I feel like you balance my daughter because she's down here and you're up here. Stassi's standing right there. You might think Stassi is a crazy chick with a lot of problems, but after meeting this woman, I think she has turned out incredibly sane, and I give her so much credit. And I thought that Stassi used great restraint. Next, we have the meeting with Lala and James. Lala, I love her. I do. I love her so much, but she shows up at this strip mall coffee shop in a Rolls freaking Royce. Yeah, she's got daddy's car today. It's so obnoxious. But anyway, Lala is trying to figure out why James is doing what he does. And she said, look me in the eyes. I want to figure out why you need to attack people in such a hurtful way. And James said, it's the alcohol. And she's basically saying, yeah, I know. I've been there too. But, we're getting older now and this isn't cute anymore. So he basically said, you have to give me some time because I need to work on myself before I can work on fixing other things, other problems with other people. And she agreed to that, told him that she would be there for him, to support him in whatever way that he needs. And then she says such a Lala thing that I love it. She goes, you're going to be all right, kid. We all are. It's so great. I mean, what is she, a year older than him? It's just, I love it. Honestly, that is the Lala I love. I want that to come back. That was last season Lala, with all her, words of wisdom and stuff. Okay, now it is time for the mother-daughter dinner. As they're walking into the restaurant, Dana is lavishing praise on Kristen, telling her she's the strongest woman she knows and she really admires her and that she hopes that Stassi will grow up to be half the woman that Kristen is. Kristen, of course, was loving it, but at the expense of her own daughter. What kind of mom says that? Let's put aside for a second that her mom was saying this about Kristen Doty. But to demean your own daughter that way to her friends or in front of her friends. So they're all seated at a table, and Katie is telling her mom that she sees a lot of herself in her. And she's talking about, just the other day, something happened that she did something and it reminded her of her mom, that she does it like her mom. And it was, fine and nice. And while this is happening, Stassi's mother's got her head on Stassi's shoulder, and then she turns and she's kind of nuzzling Stassi's neck. Stassi is begging her mother not to be weird. Then they all have a toast to Kristen, who made $9,000 that day at her t-shirt relaunch. And Kristen somehow brings up how busy she was that day. And then Kristen said, and then I looked over and I was wondering, what are Dana and Beau talking about? Because it was getting very animated. And Dana starts laughing and she said, I trapped him like a hamster in a habit trail. To the confession cam, Stassi's like, what the hell is a habit trail? Then Dana tells the entire table that every single night before she goes to bed, she prays that Stassi will not carry baggage from her old relationships into this one with Beau. So Stassi tells her mom she's getting annoyed. I don't blame her. And she said, you're contradicting yourself because you told Beau that my baggage didn't come from my past boyfriends, that I was like this my whole life. And Dana starts to tear up, which makes the other moms go, oh, she loves you. And Stassi said, and I love her too. Katie's mom said, you guys will understand when you become mothers. What? I'm a mother, I don't understand. Dana was so far out of line with the way she spoke to Beau, and it is inexplicable to me the way she demeans her daughter. I don't get it. And besides that, Stassi didn't yell at her. She just said, I'm starting to get upset now. I think Stassi was well within her rights. If you guys have a different opinion, let me know in the comments. But this was definitely my takeaway. Dana then turns to Stassi and says, don't be upset. My ovaries are being absorbed by my body. I'm in menopause. I never cry. And Stassi goes, yes, you always cry. Then to the table, she's like, she always cries. Now, Stassi didn't have to do that. I mean, I don't agree that Stassi should have gone any further with it, but she was upset by stuff her mom was saying, and so I kind of get it. I don't like it, but I get it. And Dana's just, you guys, I thought she was drunk. I mean, was she on something? Because her behavior is so weird. Then she says to Katie's mom, tell me to breathe in and breathe out. Katie's mom goes, breathe in and breathe out. And she goes, you needed somebody to tell you to do it? You couldn't just breathe in and out? Katie was telling Stassi, it's okay. But Kristen, who is now Dana's best friend because Dana told her she was like a woman to be worshipped, says to Dana, Stassi is stuck in that bitchy place, and I hate when she gets like that. I can't stand it. Dana's just eating it up too, because now the two of them are making fun of Stassi's facial expressions and stuff. Stassi's like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm not having this conversation anymore. Now Dana is hanging on Kristen. There's something wrong with this woman. Stassi and Kristen kind of go after each other now. And Dana goes, can everyone just stop being selfish? Stop thinking of yourselves and think about the fact that we're all together. Yeah, I think that's why they're upset, because you're all together and you're acting weird. Anyway, Dana gets up and goes off to cry. The other moms follow her. They're comforting her. And the girls, Kristen does come over and try and wipe away Stassi's tears. But to the confession camp, Katie says, this is very familiar to me. We see a flashback to a time that Stassi was, went off on one of her tantrums. And Katie is, I guess, equating it to just heredity. I don't know. But that is where this episode ends. Now, scenes from next week. Oh, guys, it looks like Billy Lee is ratcheting up the crazy. I don't know if it's in an attempt to remain relevant. I don't care. I am here for it. And I hope you guys are too. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to Jill Informed if you haven't already. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. I read all your comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. And I hope you'll join me next Monday for the next recap of Vanderpump Rules. Bye-bye.